You're listening to Matt Connarton Unleashed on Revealing Talk Radio. For more information about how to get access to the show live, all the social media information for the show, how to contact us, and where to find the full archive to access the program on demand, visit ipmnation.com/MCU. ipmnation.com/MCU. Matt Connarton Unleashed is produced and distributed by ipmnation.com. So when we last left off, because I wasn't here yesterday, but Wednesday, of course, we focused largely on the, almost entirely really on the Michael Cohen testimony. And then yesterday, the big news was, actually the night before, but into yesterday, the big news was the didn't work out with Kim Jong-un and our president, Donald John Trump. Sometimes things just don't work out. You know, they fell in love, according to Trump, but it just didn't work out. And Trump said sometimes you have to walk. And but he's still saying very, very glowing, lovely things. Oh, hello to Christian Connarton in the Facebook live chat. Still speaking very warmly of Kim Jong-un. And a little too warmly for some folks, actually, because there was this gentleman, Otto Warmbier, who, of course, was returned to the United States in a coma by the North Koreans. And apparently Warmbier's parents had a problem with all the praise that is being lavished on Kim Jong-un. Oh, imagine that. Of course, Trump says that apparently Kim Jong-un was not aware of how Warmbier was being treated, of the mistreatment that he was suffering that led to him being in a coma and ultimately dying. Kim Jong-un didn't know. I would assume that during their meeting, Kim Jong-un probably very strongly and very firmly denied knowing anything about it, much like Vladimir Putin very firmly, very strongly denied, any Russian interference into the election. I'm sure it was the, I'm sure it was the same type of situation. You know, when a dictator who murders people very strongly denies something, why wouldn't Trump believe that?
Could be other people also. There's a lot of people out there.
So, what can you do? By the way, so I've never forgotten this, and I've never heard another person bring this up. But during one of the Republican debates in 2016, when you had like Trump and like 9 or 10 other people on the stage, and Ted Cruz, one of the questions, and I'll actually give Trump a tiny bit of credit here for answering this, trying to give a sincere answer to this question. Although I always hate this question because 9 times out of 10, none of the candidates will answer it sincerely, and they'll try to spin it into something that benefits them. But so the question was, well, what is a weakness that you have, right? And, and of course, most candidates will try to answer it as, kind of like they're in a job interview, which in a sense a debate is, right? And try to spin it into something positive. Like I remember years ago, back in 2008 during the Democratic debates when that was a question. And Senator John Edwards answered something like, well, some people might say I'm too impatient for change, but it's just because I love this country so much that I really, really want change. And of course, it was just a really douchey answer. Trump actually seemingly somewhat sincerely said during one of the Republican debates that he was, if there's one thing he might be guilty of, it's being too trusting of people sometimes. People tell him things and he takes them at their word. And I think we might be seeing this play out now, both with Putin and with Kim Jong-un. But we have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Oh, good way to test the phone. Who's on the line?
John C. Hopwood.
Okay, the studio line is definitely working again, which is nice because that means I don't have to plug my cell phone into the board. Hello, John C. Hopwood. How are you? And what does the C stand for today?
Claude.
Cod?
No, Claude.
Claude?
Claude. My middle name is Claude.
Claude? Oh, Claude. I thought you were saying cod, like the fish. I was very confused. I'm not into seafood, personally. Frankly, I find it repulsive. Please don't call and talk about
what
cod.
happened to Glenn's voice? Oh, I'm driving right now, so...
Oh, my goodness. You're going to get a ticket.
Nah, I'm not in Manchester.
Oh.
Hey, what happened to Glenn's voice?
What do you mean?
Why is Glenn against public toilets all of a sudden?
I don't know what you're talking about. We don't even we don't really talk about Glenn or play any Glenn audio on the show. I don't know what you're talking about there, Claude.
Our public,
if that is your real name.
our public toilets. Oh, sorry.
No, there was
I apologize.
there was some other guy talking about that, but not Glenn R.J. Willett, the people's mayor.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering why he thinks that public toilets promote weakness.
Oh, I don't think Glenn would say that. I think he's very pro-public toilet. And besides, I don't know if he's even on that kick anymore. I think he's got bigger fish to fry. Get it? I was taking it back to the whole, it was kind of a callback to the cod thing.
Oh.
I'm very clever in that
way.
way.
That Glenn harping about the public crappers is a political weakness?
I don't know. I don't really, we don't really do local politics on the show, so I don't really have an opinion, to be honest with you.
Oh, he's not running for mayor, I hear.
I have no idea if he is or he's not. All I know, I do know this.
I just F-bombed, sorry.
What?
I gotta go right now.
All right. Well, I just hit the dump button because he says he just F-bombed. I didn't hear it, but I hit the dump button anyway, just to be better safe than sorry. Okay. So that was confusing. But anyway, so now Trump is saying his remarks on Warmbier were misinterpreted, according to thehill.com. Oh, hello to Ed Murphy, who joins us in the Facebook live chat. Says here, Trump today sought to clean up his widely criticized claim that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un did not know about the death of U.S. college student Otto Warmbier, saying, quote, "Of course I hold North Korea responsible for Warmbier's mistreatment and death," unquote. Let's see. He then went on to say, obviously I meant to say wouldn't when I said would. Hopefully that clears it. No, I'm kidding. That's actually a reference to his post-Putin remarks. No, he said in a pair of tweets, Trump claimed that his initial comments at a Thursday news conference following his failed nuclear summit with Kim were misinterpreted. There is a pattern here, right? I mean, even those of you who love and adore our president, Donald John Trump, and don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting he's not just the greatest president in the history of the galaxy. Certainly, I would never question him in any way because he's so truly remarkable. But you have to admit, though, there's a pattern here, right? You know, he did his press conference there, his joint press conference with his BFF, Vlad, and then had to, say, oh, no, I meant to say wouldn't when I said would, or would when I said wouldn't, or something like that, right? And now he's having to clean this up after a press conference without his other, Vlad's his BFF. He and Kim fell in love, so I get, but they don't seem to be getting along. So, what would you say? His Korean lover? I don't know. That sounds. Actually, I think that's the name of a film that I used to watch when I was a kid on the scrambled cable channel where you couldn't actually see anything. You ever do that when you were a kid? Anyway, no. But there does seem to be a pattern of this. So here's what Trump tweeted. First, he said, I never liked, but I didn't have a chance to pre-read any of this, so I'm absorbing this for the first time. He said, "I never like being misinterpreted." Let me stop there before I even read the rest of the tweet. Dude, if you don't like being misinterpreted, try speaking the English language like someone who didn't learn English 2 weeks ago. I mean, he makes Sarah Palin, of all people, sound mildly articulate, okay? If you don't like being misinterpreted, try speaking in a way that doesn't leave lots of room for people to go, Okay, I don't know what that meant, but here's what I think it might have meant. You know what I mean? Like, he makes George W. Bush sound like Doris Kearns Goodwin. I mean, he really is. He has to be the least articulate, least well-spoken president in the history of the world. Now, again, don't you Trump people don't get all upset with me now. I know, even as even as much difficulty as he has speaking English and stringing coherent sentences together, he's still a great president. I'm sure. I have no doubt about it. So don't get all upset with me now. Anyway, so he tweets, I never like being misinterpreted, but especially when it comes to Otto Warmbier and his great family. Remember, I got Otto out along with 3 others. The previous administration did nothing, and he was taken on their watch. Of course, I hold North Korea responsible. And then some ellipses, because now we go on to the next tweet. For Otto's mistreatment and death. Most important, Otto Warmbier will not have died in vain. Oh, God, no. Don't go there, dude. Don't do the died in vain thing or didn't die. Oh, no. Oh, that is so cringe-inducing. When anyone does that, oh, that makes me cringe. That's so bad. Don't even go there. Oh, no. Oh, don't ever do that. No one should ever do that for well, they didn't die in vain. No, screw you. Yeah, tell his family, oh, well, hey, he didn't die in vain. Oh, that's such a bad thing to say. The level, no offense to anyone who's ever said that, but the level of, I should say the lack of self-awareness it takes to even utter a phrase like that about someone's death is staggering. Oh, like I said, I didn't pre-read this. Oh, hello to Patrick Henry in the Facebook live chat who says, ha, 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 ha. Ed Murphy says, yes. Canadian scramble porn, loved it. Yes. Oh, well, that's not what I meant, Ed Murphy. How dare you? No, that is what I meant. Let's see. Okay. Well, anyway, I'll read the rest of the tweet, but oh, God. Okay. Most important, Otto Warmbier will not have died in vain. Oh. Sorry, I keep getting stuck in that. It's just I don't have a bucket here to throw up in, so I'm struggling a little bit. Otto and his family have become a tremendous symbol of strong passion and strength, which will last for many years into the future. I love Otto and think of him often. Oh, my God. What? Dude. I love Otto and think of him often. Oh, jeez. So, yeah, I mean, I understand the president's not wanting to appear like a sociopath, but this is kind of isn't this a bit of an overcorrection? I love Otto and I think of him often. Dude, you don't love him and you only think of him because you have to deal with this because this is in your face, okay? Oh, everything about that tweet is cringe. Oh, my God. Dude. Stop. Let's see. In his remarks in Vietnam, Trump said that Kim had denied any knowledge of Warmbier's treatment. And, of course, Trump said, quote, and I will take him at his word. He knew the kid. Can you imagine? No wonder Otto Warmbier's parents are so angry. Oh, my God. Can you imagine? Bad enough what happened to their kid. But then you've got this clown who, oh my God. I just, like, and I'm trying to make fun of Trump for it, but at the same time, as a person of empathy, I'm sort of trying to make light of it in terms of Trump because I'm trying to not be overwhelmed with anger because I can't help but think about how Otto Warmbier's parents must feel having to watch this inarticulate buffoon of a clown of a president try to navigate this. I mean, it's disgraceful. And, you know, I know all you pro-Trump folks, you don't see it that way, and but this is really gross. I'm sorry, but it is. Oh, God. All right, I'm going to read the rest of this quote, but I'm actually, like I said, I'm trying to be funny about it because it's Trump, but I'm actually legitimately getting really angry and very sad at the same time. Okay, so Trump said that Kim had denied any knowledge of Warmbier's treatment, quote, and I will take him at his word. He knew the case very well, but he knew it later. And you know, you've got a lot of people, big country, a lot of people, and in those prisons and those camps, you have a lot of people, and some really bad things happened to Otto, some really bad things, unquote. Okay. Whatever. Jeez. Oh. And of course, you know, polling data consistently shows that at least 40% of the country is just fine with all of this. This blithering buffoon who, you know, can't even remotely fake sympathy and empathy without just embarrassing, well, you know, those of us who actually care about other people and who actually care about what Otto Warmbier's family is going through, for us, this is embarrassing. As Americans, this is embarrassing. Now, again, at least 40% of the country who's with Trump no matter what, you guys are fine with it. You know, I'm sure somebody on Fox News has probably figured out some way to tell the audience that, well, Otto Warmbier probably did something to deserve it. He probably had it coming somehow, and these parents shouldn't be criticizing the president. I'm sure that spin is out there. I'm sure at some point Laura Ingraham or some other sociopath has gone out of their way to somehow think of something really terrible to say about Otto Warmbier's family or something. I'm sure that's happened, and I'm sure at least 40% of you just eat that up and think it's just fine. But it's not fine. This is not okay. And I'm getting a little sick of pretending that this is normal. 40% of you think this is just fine. This is normal. This is not normal. This is infuriating. The best thing this clown could do is shut the hell up and just, you know, let this family, try not to embarrass everybody and let this family have some peace instead of just making everything worse. He just makes it worse. And I don't know what makes me angrier. Him? Or just knowing that at least 40%, or maybe a little lower, I think I've seen maybe 38%, somewhere between 38 and 45%, depending on what poll you look at. Possibly as much as 45% of you think this is just dandy. And it's not. Sorry. Let's see. God, I don't even know where to go from there. I think, no. I mean, maybe I'm a little emotional because I'm exhausted, but, you know, hasn't been a great couple of days, but I can't take this in and think about what his parents must be going through and just be okay with it. I can't. A lot of you can. I can't. I think we need to play my favorite one of my favorite political song parodies. This Michael Cohen parody of Lawyers, Guns, and Money. This His Lawyer Bums Some Money by Rocky Mountain Mike, because Michael Cohen has been quite the focus of this week, and I think we could all agree that I might need a minute. So let's do this and kind of reset, and this is fun to listen to, and I'll be back. You're listening to Matt Connarton Unleashed on Revealing Talk Radio. For more information about how to get access to the show live, all the social media information for the show, how to contact us, and where to find the full archive to access the program on demand, visit ipmnation.com/MCU. ipmnation.com/MCU. Matt Connarton Unleashed is produced and distributed by ipmnation.com.